Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Danny and Stan's Football Weekend. It's presented by ASFCA. This could be the first of all the rest of the year, being Danny and Stan's Football Weekend on a Monday, even though it's Tuesday today. Or, if the Royals are still alive, which would mean they would win the series, then we'll probably do Monday Musings, and we'll probably do two. So you get bonus podcasts, but it's all football today with Stan as we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, who finally had a somewhat relaxing game, which they probably should have made more relaxing. But anyway, they are 5-0 at the bye. They are in complete control of the AFC. People are firing coaches, all kinds of stuff to talk about. And then sort of three different levels, I would say, in our college football area. Kansas State Wildcats coming off a nice bye week and played their best game of the year, and now looking ahead to the rest of the season. Kansas is circling the wagons and or the drain. The Missouri Tigers got punched in the gut for the first time, so they are reacting as well. All kinds of great stuff to talk about on Danny and Stan's Football Weekend this time around. It's brought to you by ASFCA, 8 locations all around the Kansas City area. Listen to Dr. Woodle during the course of this podcast and hear all about their great services and locations for advanced sports and family chiropractic and acupuncture. Danny and Stan, that's us. We're next.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
It's always a pleasure to catch up with Dr. Brad Woodle from Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. There are 8 locations all around Kansas City, including the newest one in Raytown.
In Raytown, we just joined Raytown July 1st. We took over for a retiring doctor, Dr. David Frey, and we are just honored to see all of his patients and take care of the Raytown community.
And communities all around Kansas City with the best of care in a wide variety of fashions.
We do chiropractic using multiple techniques: acupuncture, disc decompression therapy, cold laser therapy, different physiotherapies, exercises, whatever you need for your bones, muscles, joints, and nerve pain, we can help.
Find that help at Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture, 8 locations all around Kansas City. Visit ASFCA.com.
Enjoy all the excitement of football season at the 23rd Street Brewery. From the Jayhawks and college football to the NFL and even live-streamed Lawrence High and Free State football games, you can watch it all at the 23rd Street Brewery. Enjoy the games with your favorite menu item like the Bill Self Mac and Cheese, Naked Nachos, or the Haney Turkey Stack. And wash it all down with your favorite beer like a Wave the Wheat or Crimson Fog. 23rd Street Brewery on the corner of Clinton Parkway and Cassold in Lawrence.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business to Kansas City's #1 variety podcast, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you. Welcome back. And the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-0. They beat the Saints 26-13. All in all, Stan, in the grand scheme of things, in the large picture, last night was the Chiefs' easiest game. It was probably their best game, and they're 5-0.
Yes, Danny, I think you said it well, and I like to say that what they did is played complementary sports with our Chiefs fans, because they let us go back and forth with the Royals and see Salvi hit a home run on Monday night in New York's Yankee Stadium, and Ursic finished the game off with a little drama at the end. You could get over to the Royals game here and there and still say, I think the Chiefs got this thing under control. Now, the Chiefs continue on with their script of making the NFL games so competitive that they throw an interception at the goal line, and, there's field goals, a field goal miss. There's enough things to say that the game was worth watching all the way to the end. But still, I thought the Chiefs had control of this game. I thought Patrick Mahomes worked very well with the offense. Chiefs fans that wanted to see a little more running game, see Kareem Hunt get after it, running with abandonment, critically understanding where the first down marker is. His effectiveness as a runner is really important as well. So they did run the football, but they didn't get away from the passing game. They threw the ball well. And then you talked about winning. Winning is hard, Danny, and we have lived in a great setting here under Andy Reid. I didn't realize it until last night, late at night, when I found out that we have hit a historic point with that 5th win. That's 5 wins in a row, Danny. And that ends up being the 12th straight year that K-State has had. K-State here I'm talking about. I say K-State way too often, Danny, in my world.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs have won at least 5 games in a row or more in 12 straight seasons, and no NFL franchise has ever done that before.
That's remarkable.
So just think about that. I mean, how hard winning is, and I think at some point in every season, no matter how frustrated we might have been with, come on, let's go Chiefs, under Andy Reid, or trying to look for concern levels, to have 5-game winning streaks or better, 12 straight years, it's incredible. But I did think the Chiefs took a step forward in this game, Danny. I thought that they found a lot of things where there were question marks. And how about the defense?
Mm-hmm.
Just rock solid. I mean, there was like 3 plays that were beautiful for the Saints that you go, that was well designed, well executed, and they have some players who can get it done. But other than those, they just stuffed them like they've stuffed every running game. Chiefs defense just said, we're going to have control of this game no matter what the offense does, no matter how bad a red zone offense we have. We're going to go ahead and win this game. So, yeah, for NFL standards, Chiefs standards, kind of just a steady, nice little victory for the Chiefs to go 5-0 and a week off. And it was great to see Patrick Mahomes post-game. He's always good, right, Danny? I have not heard an interview yet where I wasn't impressed with what he said and how much fun it was to listen to him, because he kind of tells you stuff, you know? And he's real and has a great attitude. He's confident enough, but humble. Wow, incredible. It was so much fun to see him say, yeah, off week, I'm not heading out of town. I'm going to go watch the Royals and cannot wait to see Kauffman Stadium rock like Arrowhead. He goes, I've really never seen that. He wasn't here in 14 and 15.
Right.
So he cannot wait to see the Royals. That is so cool. And it's real enthusiasm. It's not just, hey, I've got to say that. Remember when Carl Peterson said, congratulations to the Royals, and you're like, yeah, you don't even like those guys. But Patrick Mahomes, he's a part owner of the Royals, and he gets a chance to go over there. So, yeah, just great evening on Monday night. Great setting. The nation got a big dose of how great it is for Arrowhead Stadium and Kansas City Chiefs football. But everyone knows that. This is the central of sports right now, Kansas City's football team. And then, hey, New York winning against the Yankees. Pretty cool stuff.
It is pretty cool stuff. And let's stick with the positive for a minute before we get into some of the nitpicking, which is sometimes interesting, and they probably don't even deserve it after this game. But anyway, there are issues that, to me, could loom. But first of all, let's talk about the run defense for the Chiefs. It seems to me, when I'm watching games, that the Chiefs are really selling out to stop the run, sending extra people, running run blitzes, doing things like that. Things that, when I'm watching the game, I'm like, the other team's offensive coordinator should be able to take advantage of this a little bit with some play action or throwing on first down a little bit more. But Steve Spagnuolo says, we're going to prove that we're going to stop your running game, so you give up on it, or at least, you're in second and long and third and long a lot of times. Talk about that mix that Spagnuolo is creating.
I think you said it well. The old days and even modern era, Danny, we don't beat the drum on this too much, but every defensive coordinator that I've known who has coached at a big-time level, even as the game converted to more of a passing game, has said we got to stop the run. That's the number one thing. And I think what you said is accurate. Steve Spagnuolo's bought into that theory. We're going to make you one-dimensional. We're going to stop the run and do whatever we can. Now, why don't they, when teams pass more than 50% of the time in the NFL, why don't they then just do what you said and get the offensive coordinator designing some things to take advantage of the passing game? Well, the thing that is happening is a couple things. One is the lockdown cornerback play that the Chiefs have had the last few years sets the tone.
Right. So
you can't design anything with the outside receivers if they're not good enough to get away from man-to-man coverage, and you don't have to bring extra guys to help them. So that the numbers game just starts going in Steve Spagnuolo's way very quickly. The other thing that Steve Spagnuolo deserves a lot of credit for, Danny, is he is doing that when they're running. He's guessing correctly.
Right.
He's not selling out on every play and just laughing, like we're going to blow you up and you cannot do anything against us. No, he's actually – his coaching's unbelievable, because when you say, well, he really sold out on that one, you go, and he was right. They ran it. So he's doing it with an unbelievable, predictable mode that deserves extra credit. And sometimes we'll just say, we'll forget about that fact. Next thing is, Nick Bolton has done a very good job at coordinating the football team. I think he's a good source of information and toughness in the middle. Chris Jones blows up everything. But here's the last point on this, Danny. Why don't teams throw the ball a little bit better against the Chiefs when the Chiefs do bring as many people to the line of scrimmage as they need? I mean, you look down, I almost have to hit pause. I don't, but I can count fast enough. I go, they got 8 guys up at the line of scrimmage. This looks like 1974. I mean, what are they doing? Well, the thing that they do, Danny, is when they blitz, even if they think it's a run and they blitz, they are taught so well to run through and convert on the run to a pass rush. Does that make sense? Like, these are smart players. So they are there to stop the run, but as soon as they read things, they immediately become effective pass rushers. I'll give you an example. How about the Chiefs sending 8 guys on the last play that Carr played? You know, he got hurt on that 4th down play. That was a critical play in the game. The Chiefs sent 8. Well, I've seen teams sell out like that, Danny, and send a bunch of guys. And you know what usually happens? Because you don't do it very often. You kind of run into each other a little bit. And you muck it up, and suddenly one guy should be running free, and he's not. And the quarterback gets an extra second to look, and he's laughing and going, you got the whole field out there? And I got 3 receivers out there, and you only got 3 DBs? I mean, I'm going to cut you apart and make you pay. Guess what happens? The Chiefs guy is hitting Carr in the ribs, like there's a magnet attached to him. That's the difference in the Chiefs defense and other teams. They execute when they run through, when he puts them in positions to say, you got to go get this thing, they don't go fly by and miss and then expose themselves. Guys are doing what they are supposed to. There's an unbelievable belief, execution, and then we got to give credit to Chris Jones. I thought last night was an important thing. Did you see that point in the game? And I don't know which game you're watching and where you were listening, Danny. This is a hard thing to say to people. But if you were listening to Troy Aikman talk about it, and I'm not trying to blow him up, but the producers are involved with this as well. They're going, we really haven't heard from Chris Jones as much as we thought we would. This is midway through the 3rd quarter, something like that, early 4th. And saying, we really haven't seen him blow plays up as much as he normally does. And they go and show us a video montage. Well, guess what it showed, Danny? Chris Jones stuffing the run 3 straight times. They didn't give him any credit for being a run stuffer. They wanted to just see pass rushing and sacking. Right. And that just totally misses. Chris Jones killed the running game on 3 plays while they were kind of bad-mouthing him. I'm going, you're saying the wrong words. The words are, look how this guy is stopping the running game while he also wants to get to the quarterback. So, yeah, Spagnuolo deserves a ton of credit. Chris Jones, the cornerbacks play. But this defense is really, really good, and they are selling out for the run, Danny. But they're doing it with predictability that's pretty amazing. The hit rate. It's like I guess it's like a great baseball hitter. Supposedly baseball hitters in the big leagues are kind of looking for a pitch, I've been told, okay? They don't just stand there blindly like I did in high school and just, try to hit whatever's coming at me. They're like, okay, I think he's going to throw a curveball. And I'm going to sit on a curveball and smack this if I'm right. And Spagnuolo, if he were a hitter right now, he'd be calling out what the pitcher's throwing.
Yeah, he's doing a remarkable job. And if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you got to do the special things, or at least, semi-special things. And on the play that Carr's hurt, he actually made a nice play. I mean, while getting murdered, he threw the ball, and it should have been caught. I mean, it was a tough catch, but it was a gigantic play in the game. So you got to make those plays if you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk a little bit about the offense. Patrick Mahomes was sharp. It was a, take what they give type of thing, mixing in with the occasional big play, but the biggest aspect early on was the use of 3 tight ends and effectively.
Yes, and Travis Kelce has room to maneuver. There's only so many plays you can design for everybody. That's one of the big things when Rashee Rice got hurt. I'm not advocating that that's good news, but that did not crush my thought process for the Chiefs offense, Danny, at all. Because every time he drops back, he can only throw it one time. So if Rice isn't there and he's working over the middle, guess what? Travis Kelce gets to work over the middle. And they kind of duplicate each other in some ways. Now, Rashee Rice's capability to be young and fast and get run after catch and be explosive, I get that. Travis Kelce's not that guy anymore. But really, they're not additive. It's not Kelce plus Rashee Rice equals everything you get. They actually overlap each other, okay? So I think all this that we've seen is Travis Kelce get